Okay, it's been a bit and I've been promising this for a while. It's finally time to share with you my new shop. So over the last couple months we moved and I had a shed built to house my new bike shop. This is a 16 by 12 bike shop with 8-foot walls, and then the peak of the ceiling is actually about 3.5 feet more at the center. I had the building built, but then I did the electrical, the insulation, and installed the OSB boards on the wall. And yeah, let's show you the shop. Okay, so some of the details on the shop. So after I finished the walls, I had to do the floor. So in the floor is actually a rubber kind of linoleum type floor with a diamond pattern, black, and then I did a baseboard all around the bottom of the shop after sealing things around the bottom of the floor to keep the shop nice and insulated. I had this toolbox before. I installed my old pegboard, shop board, but I did move the signs that I did have, the Park Tool sign and my old shovel sign with some of my other sponsors like Club Ride and Sprayed Out Bike and some of the other folks that I've done stuff with. Moving those signs gave me a little more room for the tool wall. And I do have installed some of the new pegboard features that Park Tool has. One is the lube and grease kind of display. I can't remember what that's called. And also the socket wrench mount and display here in the shop. I did install outlets throughout the shop so that I have accessibility. A light switch here actually that controls the light up there. Can turn it on and off from the shop. I did install also outlets that have USB ports on them in a couple of spots here across the workbench. I do have my new Husky workbench. This is an 84-inch workbench with a stainless steel top. And then I picked up a few more Park Tool mats just to, not necessarily to protect the stainless steel, but just to give me a more durable surface when I'm working on things. I've loved the mat that I've had for the last while. It is still on my old workbench that I've put now to the side of the shop. I'll use this kind of as the parts cleaning area because my mat is very dirty. I kind of want to keep those ones over there a little nicer. But I've got my truing stand. I do think it's a little dark here, so I've got lights mounted across the center of the shop, but because the bikes are hanging, it kind of dims things down, so I may be installing a light bar across the top here or something like that I can move around to just give me a little more light in this area. But I've got my old workbench with my bench vise on it and my other portable vise. Got my toolboxes down here, currently some other fork storage, garbage can. I do want to put this bench on caster wheels so I can move it around a little easier, that lock. I actually had purchased some, I didn't like them, so I returned them. But I'll be looking at doing that. And then I do want to do something different underneath. I don't want it to just be a storage bin under there. But I do also plan on, so I've hung some of my used fork collection that will probably all go on bikes. I do have several more, as you can see down there, that still need to be installed. I also put, if you noticed it already, a TV in the corner because I can, and I thought it'd be fun. Let's see, what else did we do in the shop? I do have a mount now for my bike stand, my compressor. Now, in the old shop, I had this mounted on the ceiling, and it came down in a convenient way. At where it was, the hose wasn't an issue, but now I installed some brass right angle fittings to try to get this hose so it didn't go in the way, and I'd actually need to mount this so it stays a little more clean in the shop. And I did the same L brackets actually here on the compressor that I have in the corner. I am considering actually moving this into the garage of the house so that I don't have to worry about the sound whenever it kicks on to top off the compression of the compressor. It's nice to have those sounds somewhere else, but I haven't done that yet. I also, this is a shelf that I actually had in the garage before. I've set it up though now as kind of a parts bin rack. Previously I had my parts, a lot of my used parts in some big black totes, and they were just all mixed together. Now I have the parts all divided. I've got like shift levers here, chain, hubs that aren't on wheels. I've got lots of spare pedals, front derailleurs, rear derailleurs and front derailleurs. I've got grips, bottom brackets and headsets. Looks like more brakes down here, brake levers. What else do we got over here? I've got, okay, threadless stems and threaded stems, quill stems. Looks like chain rings and disc brakes. I got cassettes and shifters here. And then this shelf was actually an old library shelf, and it has dividers that came with it for the books and different things. Each shelf kind of can have these dividers fit in it. And I thought it was actually perfect for the spray dot bike paint that I have. So I have all of the leftover cans of spray dot bike paint, and I kind of like it. I can see it as a display a little bit better. I did think about building a rack for it, and then I remembered I had these sleeves that I could put in for the shop, and it actually works out really good. I then, on the shelf also, I have some extra shop towels, some other things, my old truing stand, and the old truing stand that I restored a while back. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. I have some of my lubricants and other liquids and cleaners. Some of the stuff from Muck Off is over here. And yeah, and then I have 24 bikes that I'm hanging from the ceiling. So one of the questions I have gotten quite a bit since I've shown a few glimpses of my bikes hanging here is, how high is my ceiling? How do they fit? Other people considering building a shop similar to this and hanging their bikes. The way I've got these bikes is there's actually a bike every 3 inches. So that's how I've got 24 bikes in here. What I've done is on each side, I've staggered them. So forward and backward, alternating as I've hung them. And the hooks are every 6 inches on each post. So I've got a hook every 6 inches up there as I go across. And I've got 12 bikes lined up that way across at 6 inches apart each. And then on the other side, they're offset 3 inches from the other rack, and then again, one every 6 inches. And there's plenty of room actually for the bikes here. I'm not super tall, I'm 5'9", and so in most of the shop I can walk under these handlebars and seats, just barely not hitting them. And so yeah, it works for me and for the shop setup that I want. As just a note too, some of these bikes, I've listed already 3 of them on Bike List, and I do plan on listing more this next month. Now, it's fairly new, so there's not a whole lot of bikes on there yet. But like I said, I've already got this Reflex ALX 89. I've got this ProFlex on there. I've got my Navarro Ponderosa Ibis built that's on there. And I have a few others that I intend to put on there soon, but I haven't yet. Some of the ones that I've painted, I'll probably be stripping down and selling them as a frame set. Oh yeah, one more thing for the shop is the PST-1. Fixing the world one bike at a time. So I hope you guys like this walkthrough of the new shop. There's still a lot that I'm probably going to continue to do to get this shop just right. I'm excited to start some bike builds. In fact, I have one just right here that I probably will be working on this afternoon. This KHS Flight 800. It's a Reynolds 853 steel frame, and I picked this up just this week at the Salt Lake Bicycle Collective, along with the wheel set that's sitting behind it. And yeah, should be awesome. So as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you would have done differently, if you have any questions about the shop, or just let me know what you're doing with your bikes. And as always, look for opportunities to give those old things new life, and I will see you on the next video. Ciao. I actually really like the floor too. I know I showed it to you, but I really like how it ended up. I'll put a link in the description about the flooring I used. The only thing I didn't like, it had a strong rubber smell. It still does a bit. It's starting to fade, and it's been installed now for a couple weeks. But yeah, it's a cool floor. It's right straight onto the concrete, and the seams are taped down with double-sided vinyl tape. Ciao.